From the bottom of my heart, I hope you really enjoy this. What you're about to watch is one of the oldest surviving manufacturing films in the entire world. This was filmed in 1912. The story of the Zenith hat. This film begins with a fictional story rather than a factory. A shipwreck survivor discovers that rabbit fur changes when exposed to water, inspiring the idea of producing felt hats. While this story is romanticized, it introduced the material that would make Borsalino famous throughout the world. The fine rabbit fur felt used in its premium hats. Imagine seeing this on today's TV. Would never happen. Chalk this up to one of the things that no one else is going to show you. A cookie rabbit. Here comes the legendary light bulb moment. The fur adheres to the cone using steam and centrifugal force. All of mankind's greatest inventions began as a dream. Dream big, I say. Now the story becomes history. This film is going to enter one of the largest hat factories on Earth. By the years just before World War I, Borsalino was producing nearly 2 million hats every year and exporting them across the globe. The Zenith. Everything begins with rabbit fur. Workers carefully clean, sort, and prepare thousands of individual fibers. Long before automation, this work depended almost entirely on skilled hands and years of experience. Forming the felt hood. Here we watch loose fibers transformed into what hat makers call a hood, the rough cone that will eventually become an elegant hat. Steam, moisture, and careful handling allow fibers to interlock naturally without weaving. This is one of the most important stages. Heat, moisture, and constant agitation. The felt shrinks while becoming denser and stronger. This process determines much of the finished hat's durability and quality. I read during my investigation into the company and the practices of the manufacturing that it goes through 52 steps to transform rabbit fur into a hat. Wooden blocks establish the crown shape while skilled craftsmen stretch and mold the felt with remarkable precision. Although machinery has evolved, this basic process is still recognizable in quality hat making today. Notice the attention to detail given to every surface. Craftsmen smooth, sand, and finish each hat repeatedly until the felt develops the luxurious finish, which Borsalino has become famous for. This process takes roughly 7 weeks to complete. 7 weeks. Till this day, this video remains as one of the premier pieces of filmography ever recorded in the hat making genre. Every single hat receives individual inspection. Small imperfections are corrected by hand before the hats are packed for shipment. At Borsalino, quality control was never an afterthought. It is part of the manufacturing process itself. And possibly the rarest scenes of all are the final scenes of the workers, but I'm from the Bethlehem Steel from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I'm familiar with this. Instead of ending with the factory, we see employees enjoying sports, recreation, and social activities. These moments provided extraordinary glimpse into the daily life of one of Italy's great industrial companies over 100 years ago. These are the same things that I've witnessed here in Bethlehem. The Bethlehem Steel did the similar things, including a football team and a baseball team, which had Babe Ruth, by the way. But that's a story for another day. As always, I promise you to show you the story behind the cap. And this is a remarkable 1913 film. All right, I sped that up, so I actually reduced the time in half for you. I love things like that. I hopefully you loved it. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed that video, let me know. Now, keep in mind, that video was made in 1912, okay? Now I have another one, more recent one, and Borsalino is fantastic with putting out content. 1857, a tradition is born in a small hat shop in Alessandria. From the 1900s to the 1950s was the golden age of the company, employing more than 2,000 artisans, developing a global reputation for unmatched craftsmanship. Humphrey Bogart made the fedora timeless in Casablanca in 1942, but it was in 1970 where the name Borsalino appeared on the big screen. 1987, the end of family ownership. For almost 25 years, they battled financial crisis one after another. A private equity firm steps in, investing millions of dollars to restructure, and production continues. The company files for bankruptcy. As of 2018, a new beginning emerges. In 2023, heritage was preserved with the opening of the Museum of Borsalino. I want to show you exactly what they're still doing. So this is recent. This is exactly how the process is still going. We're going to go on to the next one. Thank you.
Sono brand ambassador della società Borsalino. Quello che vi racconterò oggi non è solo la storia di un'azienda di successo, ma è la vera e propria nascita di un'icona senza tempo, che ancora oggi, dopo oltre 150 anni, è sinonimo di eleganza, di stile inconfondibile, ma soprattutto di Made in Italy. L'azienda Borsalino nasce ad Alessandria nel 1857, grazie al suo fondatore Giuseppe Borsalino, detto Chour Pipin, che dopo aver trascorso 7 anni in Francia ed aver ottenuto il titolo di maestro cappellaio, ritorna in Italia e decide di aprire una piccola bottega artigiana nel centro storico della città. Dopo soli 13 anni di attività, l'azienda vanta già 130 dipendenti e una produzione giornaliera di 300 cappelli. Fu proprio allora che Giuseppe Borsalino decide per la svolta industriale, trasformando così la sua piccola impresa artigiana in una vera e propria industria. La nuova era del brand riparte da quello che è sempre stato il core business dell'azienda, e cioè il cappello, concentrandosi su collezioni incentrate sul design puro, sull'eleganza e sull'unicità del prodotto. Borsalino è diventato negli anni un'icona internazionale ed è uno di quei rari casi in cui un marchio è diventato sinonimo di un prodotto. Nel 1970 inizia anche il sodalizio con il mondo del cinema, con l'uscita del film omonimo Borsalino in cui recitavano Jean-Paul Belmondo e Alain Delon. Ed è proprio da quel momento che numerose sono le star che hanno deciso di indossare il cappello Borsalino proprio come segno di riconoscimento e di eleganza. Quello che noi produciamo sono copricapi in feltro e tutto nasce dalla materia prima, ovvero un mix di diverse qualità di pelo che possono essere lepre, coniglio o garenne. Diverse sono le fasi per infeltrire il cappello, si parte da una prefollatura, una follatura ed infine lo sbridaggio, che è un'operazione fondamentale che trasforma la cloche in cappellina. Lo sbridaggio avviene in un macchinario a campana dove dapprima la cloche viene posizionata sotto una struttura dove troviamo del vapore. In questo caso la superficie della cloche si rende lavorabile e malleabile e può essere passata su un macchinario successivo, ovvero la sbridatrice, dove una grossa pinza non fa altro che rompere la trama del feltro, iniziando a definire la differenza tra tesa e ala del cappello. Solo dopo circa 50 passaggi e una media di 7 settimane di lavorazione, un copricapo può essere considerato un borsalino. Il nostro mestiere è un mestiere prettamente manuale, in cui le mani dei lavoratori sono importantissime. Al loro tatto riescono a riconoscere la diversa qualità del pelo e anche le impercettibili imperfezioni che ci sono sulla superficie dei cappelli. Questa è una vera e propria arte che richiede tempo, pazienza, ma soprattutto una grande esperienza. I cappelli Borsalino hanno raccontato la storia del costume attraverso i decenni, restando sempre al passo con i tempi e coniugando in maniera perfetta la tradizione con l'innovazione. In ogni collezione, accanto ai prodotti classici e continuativi, vengono proposti dei nuovi prodotti e dei nuovi abbinamenti con una ricerca costante di nuovi materiali, tessuti e colori. E tutto questo ha fatto sì che Borsalino ancora oggi sia sinonimo di eleganza, di stile, ma soprattutto sia un testimone indiscusso di Made in Italy. Stare al passo con i tempi significa indagare e conoscere le esigenze e le richieste dei clienti di oggi. Gli artigiani della nostra società, che fino a qualche anno fa si occupavano solo della parte produttiva del nostro cappello, hanno dovuto rivoluzionare il proprio mestiere avvicinandosi alla tecnologia e seguendo i mutamenti inevitabili della società. Come vedete, questa è la foto di un cappello ormai ultimato, su cui sono stati applicati tutti gli accessori in maniera perfetta ed è pronta per essere pubblicata sul nostro sito di e-commerce. La tecnologia per una società come Borsalino, strettamente artigiana, è comunque importante perché velocizza i processi produttivi, sottolinea il know-how artigianale degli artigiani e soprattutto va utilizzata. Un problema diffuso per aziende artigiane come Borsalino è proprio quello di trovare giovani disposti ad iniziare un percorso lavorativo di questo genere. Soprattutto nel campo della moda i giovani sono per lo più interessati alla parte creativa, alla parte di progettazione del prodotto in sé e non tanto alla parte manuale che invece è alla base di tutto. Solo grazie a un accurato ricambio generazionale riusciremo a dare continuità ad un'azienda che non è solo un marchio ma è un autentico stile di vita. Quest'arte meravigliosa non può andare assolutamente persa nel tempo.
This is what a collector admires in Borsalino today. They're looking at more than the hat itself. With the two that I have over here that you're going to see in this video, I'm not just buying a hat. I'm buying the whole story, and it's the same with the other companies that I review. They manufactured hats starting in 1857, and that craftsmanship has inspired hat makers for generations at this point. To the next portion of the video, we're going to go inside the museum in Italy that is dedicated to Borsalino. I guess when you've been around as long as Borsalino and you meant as much to northern Italy and fashion in general as Borsalino does, you deserve a museum. So I presented the timeline, and it showed that the corporation is in private equity hands now, but this is a walk inside the museum. The museum started in 2023. It memorialized the legend as a Borsalino. It features over 2,000 different hats, very famous from different movies, different genres. It probably should be on everyone's bucket list if you love hats, but I think this is the next best thing, a walkthrough. Unbelievable stuff here. And of course, Casablanca, where it all started.
I'm going to have to do another episode because I have more fantastic content that just has me so excited.
Time to open hat number 1.
Okay, here we go. I'm on location at my mom's. It's not officially an overhead unboxing, but let's say. So my sister went to Italy for, she was there for like a week or so. Tremendous pictures every day, so many pictures. But she came back and gave me this gift yesterday on July 4th when the whole family was together. And I ran a poll and didn't get the number of votes I needed. So I'm not sharing it until I release my full video. But, okay, there's a sticker on top. What a nice bag. I've seen this so nicely wrapped in there. Look at this. Okay, nicely wrapped. This says Borsalino, of course. Got stickers on the paper. I'm going to try to not rip the paper because I'll use it to stuff the cap like I always do. This is my first ever Borsalino from this company. All right, this one I'm going to leave right there, I think, for now. I usually have my trusty scissors for this, but I am on location. Oh, wow. Oh, good. I don't have to rip it. I got it open enough where... Oh, wow. What do I see? What do I see? I didn't even think my sister watched my channels, but if she was going to pick me a hat, she knows how I love those capellos. And the Italian flat caps. Now, this is the Italian driver's cap, I should say, driver's cap. This, right off the bat, I'm going to look at the design and say this is a traditional Italian driver's cap. Very similar to ones I've seen on my review channels before, but I'll tell you what I noticed right away. The difference in this company, I could see no extra material here. This is a very sharp edge. And they continue the sharp edge all the way over to the end of the brim. In other companies, you'll see the material folding out this way. But this is a very, very going to be a straight profile line against my forehead here. We have a Borsalino tag in the back. These are the things that you don't get when you're buying cheap mass manufactured caps. You're not getting the quality, the experience, and honestly, you know, I buy caps because I want them to last forever. I'm not into gimmicky stuff at all. I'm into fashion, traditional craftsmanship, and you can see I'm liking the shape already. Size 60 right on the dot. Thank you, Melinda, Josh, Aliana, Cash. Yep, made right in Italy by Borsalino. I mean, just absolutely beautiful craftsmanship. You see a cotton lining in here. Lighter cap. Very, very light brim. Was I right? Is there a pretty flat profile line? That's why these Italian caps are just, I don't know, they got something going on in Italy. I mean, they didn't start there, but I don't know. They might have perfected it. Some of my favorite caps come from Italy.
I stopped mine again.
Thank you, Aliana, Cash, Josh, Melinda. Italy. I love it. Borsalino, my first ever. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Now, I opened this on site at my mom's house when I received it from my sister. And they had no idea that I was actually preparing for a Borsalino episode. I plan on hitting all the oldest companies. So, Borsalino was on my targeted list. And now that we have better lighting, I will show you this cap to kind of try to focus in there. It has a very nice lining for the Borsalino. Has like a little bit of a gold tint to it. Also gold on the tag on the outside. The stitching is so good. Literally, the stitching lines, this reminds me a lot of my Capello Rosso. They literally rely on master class craftsmanship when they're building their caps. So not only is it a high quality linen, shape comes from the very interesting way it's crafted. I absolutely love this cap. It is very lightweight. I'm very interested to see what this weighs when I go to weigh it. This is gorgeous. For you that own a Mulligan Gear cap, I think Mulligan Gear has a brim in the cap that I called very thin, and this is also very thin. Look at how flexible this brim is. The Mulligan Gear one is about the same width, you know, in volume, but it's not flexible. And I don't really like bending the brim of the Mulligan Gear. But this is very flexible, very thin. I'll go into more in detail in this cap. That was a sneak peek kind of and some of my initial thoughts. I'm going to put this on and we're going to open the one that I ordered from my secret hat shop in New York City. Here we go. The baby is out of the house today, so at a doctor's appointment, which is good for my cameraman Lance and I, because we don't have to go around deleting much of the audio this week. We don't have a screaming baby in the background. But here we go. All right, there's no fillers, nothing really great about inside this box. It just comes straight from a hat store, but the biggest thing is the price. You can get authentic caps for under $100 at this place. Now, you know last week when I did the Wiggins, I said I am not a guy who enjoys patterns. I don't like patterns because I am such a stickler for what I went into last week when I was explaining pattern continuity and pattern matching. So this is a Borsalino. That's just the receipt. Normal, nice size box. I'm going to throw it down here on the ground for now. And we're going to zoom in on this thing. Now, this is a Borsalino. Obviously, a very, very busy pattern. But that's okay. We're going to look for a couple things here for pattern continuity. Now, it is a flat cap. It has a little bit of stuffing inside. Yeah. Oh, well, it's not a secret hat shop anymore, okay?
I'm about to reveal my secret hat shop, unfortunately, okay? But I'll tell you what, if you go to their website or send them an email or look at their products, tell them that Cisco Cap Critic sent you and ask for a man named Steven. You're going to be saving a tremendous amount of money on flat caps, and they also have all the traditional caps, including the Orthodox Jewish caps, the Borsalinos. Very, 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 very high-end collection. Here we go. Here is the big reveal, because this one has the tag in it. This was a Borsalino made specifically for my friends at Bencroft Hatters in New York City. Tell them Cisco sent you. So, it says Bencroft Hatters, Brooklyn, New York. Now you know my secret is out. We have the Borsalino tag. You see, not bad at all. Under $100. That was what I promised you. Borsalino, of course, made in Italy. Here's the Borsalino made in Italy tag again. Let's look for materials. Oh, here the material tags are. 35% cotton, 35% polyester, and 30% wool. So we have a combo here. 30% wool, 35 polyester, and 35 cotton. We have a pretty nice liner in here. Standard liner, nothing fancy, I would say. Or I mean the headband. Ugh. The liner doesn't have the little gold etching on it like the other one, but it does still have it's silk, I believe. But I have a 60 centimeter right on the dot. It does say Borsalino. It's all black. Feels like a silk. Let's look at what we call pattern matching and pattern continuity. We're going to look across the seams. Are the patterns matching across the seams? That's the back. This is the side. You can even see how the material comes right out to the brim edge. Another flawless job. I don't do patterns unless there's matching and continuity across the seams. This is a very soft cotton wool. Once I steam it, it'll probably really hold its shape. It looks like a gray, black, and I don't want to call it a red. I'm going to call it a burgundy color. This is a great Bethlehem cap because our colors are similar to this for the Bethlehem steel here. Once again, the stitching. Let me just try to focus on the stitching. Do you see threads? Can you see any threads? Do you see threads? Not much, right? Compare the caps you have at your house. And let's even look just at the side seam here. Do you openly see threads? Or mixed match patterns? No, not at all. Okay, we're going to get this on the head. And we'll look at it together. But as far as the pattern goes, the pattern continuity, the flushness of the seams. These are some of the things that I really see separating themselves when I'm walking into this upper echelons of craftsmanship. You see me feeling here, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling for, is because every cap I get, I thoroughly inspect. I take it apart in a mental nature, even using pictures
and computer programs to dissect it. I like to see the very subtle differences in the manufacturing processes across all the heritage companies. You know, my thought is this: if they're not making a cap, a hat with a quality that you must have, then really these heritage manufacturers are struggling. You might think, you know, just because they started in this case, the mid 1800s, that they're strong and flourishing. And the same thing, when we talked to Sturkowski, we talked to Wiggins, I literally start all of my interviews off with a questionnaire, an email, and conversations. So I only put on companies that cooperate with my investigation into them. Sourcing materials, specific questions about manufacturing, and things like that. If they don't participate, they don't get an episode. So that's actually just recently happened with a company where I wanted to review a product. I didn't get the feedback I was looking for, and I won't put them on my show. I won't give them my time if they don't give me their time. And I don't care how big they are. Okay? This cap I'm going to put on. I'm going to switch out of this beautiful... This I absolutely love. My sister Melinda, her family, Josh, Aliana, and Cash. Fantastic decision. And I want to thank my little nephew, Cash, who is my baseball prodigy. We spent most of the summer hitting and doing baseball stuff. I think he picked me this cap. He took all credit for it. Cash said it was all him. My little 10-year-old nephew. He took all credit for it. I think he made an excellent choice, and it was usually because we hit in the batting cages in my red Rosso from Capello. So I think he made a fantastic choice. All right, back to this one, the Borsalino. Here we go. Oh. All right. My niche, I don't know what it looks like. I haven't put the cap on before, obviously. It feels a little tight. It says 60. And I know for a fact I'm very much a 59.5. This feels tight. Like, that is not tight. If I want my head in it, it gets very tight. Yeah. I'm assuming now that it's tight, you can see these creases, which you're not supposed to see in a flat cap. I might have to stretch this. Or find someone who's a 58 or a 59. Well, I mean, I do know I can stretch it. I don't know if I want to stretch it. I should have wore a black shirt. Huh. Okay. Craftsmanship on point. Pattern on point. You know, I picked the color, so it is what it is. It's perfect for me. These are the colors of, like, my local high school, more or less, and Bethlehem in general. The maroons, the blacks, the grays, silvers. Those are our colors, or the colors I think of when I think of Bethlehem. Man, I love the look and the feel of this cap. It really doesn't feel like it's going to be a really good material to stretch. All the qualities of why they're the second oldest manufacturer in Europe makes sense to me. You know, you have a leather tag back here, Borsalino. The stitching is just done in a way where you literally don't see any thread. You don't see any thread. The stitching lines, like, you know, vanish
when you're just, a few feet away from you. The continuity of the patterns is amazing again in this one. I love everything about it except the fit. Oh no, the fit. I'll get great pictures of it and everything else. If you're a 58 and you love this, before I send it back, let me know. Maybe we can make a deal. Put your comments in the comment section. Let me help me out with this decision. What would you do? Would you stretch it? Would you work with it? Or would you just take the opportunity to send it back and see what they have? I don't know. I'm on the fence, as they say. I'm on the fence. While I have my cameraman here, before we break down for pictures and all those fun things, I want to go back to this Borsalino and I want to show you one interesting thing. I saw a video of a seamstress. They were doing something similar to this. Fork, fabric material, a fold over, and then a sew. And I guess that's how they make, pleats or whatever they call them. Fork, fold over, creates a tension, sew. The only reason I'm saying that is I think they do something similar here. On this linen one. Look at your capellos. Look at your hologram Paris. Look at your other Italian driver caps that have this dome-like. The question is, how do they maintain their shape? Now, Borsalino was the original. So, what I noticed for the first time is they actually bring the material at an angle here. Can you see that in the video? Can you see how this Italian driver's cap, the Borsalinos, they actually go up a little bit. And I think you can kind of see it. There's an angle here. There's a second seam line on top of the first seam line. I can feel the material here. I think what they do is use something similar to like when people are making dresses and they want to put those patterns in them. I think they have a fold. So I think this is all folded here, but then they do a very crafty seam here and bring it up at an angle to create the dome. And if you imagine it, the material comes across and then comes around like the fork method, and then understitched, and then overstitched, and that creates the dome effect. And they also add then an angled piece of that fabric so that the back of the cap comes down lower than the brim. You see this? Goes up, comes down, and they actually have a little bit more fabric back here. I'll compare that to the capellos. In this Borsalino, I went through this with a fine-tooth comb, and I noticed the manufacturing difference between the hologram Parises and the capellos and this Borsalino is right here. The way they fold it over, the second stitch line, and then they put an angle back here, giving you more fabric to really cap the back of your head. Watch. I mean, see how it just comes down exactly where you would want it. And if you have glasses, if you are the type of guy that has glasses, does this make sense? That angle cut that Borsalino has, and I have not seen anywhere else, is genius. Especially if you're wearing glasses. Because look, it gives you a pathway for your sunglasses or your regular glasses to go back up where you can still have your cap down. So your cap is sitting low. Antox, this is for you. Low brims. I know you love it. But then, without that special cut on the side, every time I go to put on my glasses and take my glasses off, or I feel like the cap is right at my ear, where it's interfering with my glasses. I know brims at the beach, you have this problem. Same as I do. Try to check out a Borsalino and see if you notice the same things I do. There's an angle cut. It's genius. I love it. I haven't seen anyone else doing it. And it allows for your glasses to go on. This is the cap for me. This one, put in the comment section what I should do with the cap. Stretch it, or find a lucky buyer, or send it back to Steven at BenCraft. BenCraft, excellent place, New York City. Tremendous prices, tremendous people. Check them out. I'm going to put it on one more time for you. Yeah, I put this on, beautiful. Put this one on, I feel all kinds of tension and pressure. We're only talking a centimeter, so I know I could stretch it out, but I'm assuming how much pressure I'm putting on this is creating some kind of drapes that aren't supposed to be there. Let me know what I should do about this one. We're going to take some pictures up against our wall and start to wrap up this episode. So, 2 caps from Borsalino. Let's take the pictures.
Borsalino.